that working? Oh, hello.
Yeah. No, then how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah. Thanks for getting involved with this, jumping on.
It's my pleasure, and I'm sorry I've been really flaky about it. I'm like this. I'm like, I agree to stuff, then I'm like, oh God, I've got to do this, I've got to do that.
No, it's fine, yeah. Whereabouts are you?
I live in Wiltshire, so it's southwest. How about you?
Southwest. Okay. Yeah, I'm up in Manchester.
Oh, Manchester. So I'm kind of like, if you go take Manchester and go straight down, just go not quite to the coast, and that's where I'm based. Like near Bristol and
Yeah, I
Bath.
was gonna say Bristol, yeah. I've never actually been around the area, but
It's
heard
very
good
nice.
things.
It's very nice. If you like cows and countryside.
Yeah, fair play. Um, yeah, it's boiling up here today. I'm melting a bit, but
Oh, it's ridiculous. I just got myself a little Fanta lemon in the fridge. It's so I hate it. I love summer, don't get me wrong. But if it goes above like 24 degrees, it's just a stifling. I feel so claustrophobic.
yeah, I know what you mean. I don't even have a garden, so it's a bit of a
Oh,
nightmare.
yeah, I've got like just a gravel like front garden. It's not really a garden that I can sit in, but I
Yeah, yeah.
wouldn't anyway, not in this heat. Just, yeah, roll on autumn.
I know, yeah. Need to borrow someone's ice bath or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously came across you on Twitter, bit of a new music champion in your own words. Like how did this all start? You like you built up quite a following on Twitter.
Yeah, it was probably about 7 years ago, I think, that I just started like just promoting like a few bands here and there. And I think it got massive during lockdown because everyone obviously didn't have anything to do. So we started doing like podcasts and radio shows and stuff. So I think obviously upcoming bands will get recommendations or whatever. So it just kind of spiraled out of control to where it is now, to a point where it's just unmanageable. And there's so many bands, but it's amazing. It's such a good like community to be a part of. And so especially during lockdown, it was like the community was fantastic. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, fair. Are you a similar age to me? You said like the noughties is your era, is that right?
I am 36.
Yeah, yeah, same age,
How are you? Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, the Naughties was, yeah, massive for me. Like the Libertines were like the band that I heard the Libertines when I was about 16 in the common room. And that was just it for me then. I started buying the NME every week.
Yeah, yeah. Same here, really. And was so did he grow up in Wiltshire then?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was born
Okay.
in Devon. And yeah, but apart from that, I moved to Wiltshire when I was about 2. I did live in Bristol for a few years as well. But I've always been Southwest. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So like did you go to like indie nights in and around Wiltshire then, growing up?
Yeah, I wow. So when I sort of was right into the indie scene, I was with a partner and we were quite young. We bought a house and everything, so we didn't really go to many gigs. We both loved it. It wasn't until I was about 21 that I started going to festivals and stuff. But they did, even like when I was like mid-20s when I lived in Bristol, they did a lot of indie nights, like Propaganda. I don't know if they have that in Manchester.
Well, I grew up in Hull, that's where I my
Oh,
formative
I
years.
used to every time I've been to, well, I know it's closed now, but I used to go to South nightclub in Manchester with Clint Boone. If I ever
Ah,
used
yeah.
to go to like an event, like a day event in Manchester, then we'd always end up at Clint Boone's South nightclub, which was an indie dream. He was just, yeah, it was all indie bangers until about 6 in the morning.
Yes. Yeah, I sometimes listen to his radio show on XS
Mm,
radio, which is quite good.
that's right. Yeah. Yeah, no, he's brilliant. I love Clint. Yeah, and I've had many good nights out there. Just a bit old for it now, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I have to be quite selective about nights out and gigs now.
Oh God, honestly. Well, I didn't drink from like March to June, and then I went to London for this big gig, this band called the Crooks, who are from Chesterfield. And I just went mad, just drank all day. And I woke up the next morning, I thought, oh my God, I just can't. And I felt ill for about a week after. Just can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because I did see one of your tweets about not drinking because I've gone about 15 months now without drinking
That's
because
amazing.
I had a similar experience like last summer where, yeah, I just went for it one Friday and it just knocked me out. I
Yeah.
was just like, I
Yeah,
can't
no,
do this anymore.
I know. I think I am going to get to a stage where it's just going to be permanent. So yeah, so since June, I've kind of like been out and drinking a lot. I've been festivals and stuff and barbecues and things like that. So yeah, I pretty much drank over weekends and I just feel awful for it. So I'm going another 3 months from today officially. Well, no, I wasn't
Yeah.
drinking yesterday, but just August. September and October, and we'll see what happens. I may decide just to stay because yeah, when you have a big break, you just feel so amazing for it. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? I don't think it's worth it if it kind of
Yeah,
brings you down at all.
no, yeah. And it's almost like one less thing to worry about. Like when I went to see Arctic Monkeys last summer, I wasn't drinking and it like you could just avoid the whole madness of trying to get a drink and stuff. Because it's like
Exactly.
you realize how like much of a focal point it is. It's like you've got to have a drink in your hand at all times.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I found that as well because I did a lot of gigs and over the spring where I wasn't drinking, and it's just something just you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about booking somewhere to stay because you can drive. And it's yeah, it's just everything does if you're drinking, everything revolves around it. And I agree. But well done, 15 months is ace. How did you find like Christmas and stuff?
Um. Yeah. Yeah. There was like one. I mean, I don't go out loads, but there was a night out where I went out with my mates in Manchester, and it was a bit challenging. Like, went to this place, just playing like real loud music and stuff, and it's just like I probably can't enjoy this because it wasn't
Yeah.
even like music I was into, but so I was like, I probably can't enjoy this unless I'm drinking. So I
Yeah.
just had to leave. I was like, I'm either going to get hammered or I just gonna have to go home.
Yeah, good for you. It's like a brain association, but it's just the culture in Britain, like the alcohol culture. Like we glamorize it so much, but I do think, like especially with me, like I've got no like limit. I'll just carry on, and I just feel
Yeah, yeah.
for it the next day. But yeah, I just think because I felt so great in the spring, I want to get that feeling back. I just like it's not even an amazing feeling. It's just like you just feel peaceful and calm and not. Do you know what I mean? Like your brain
Yeah,
is
yeah.
just like really chilled out, and that's what I really like about not drinking. And you can enjoy everything a bit better. You get to take it all in.
Yeah, yeah. I do think it's something about our generation as well of
Mhm.
binge drinking and like
Definitely.
hedonism of all this of the like indie scene, I guess when we were growing up, it was like just get hammered.
It was, yeah, definitely. You listen to some of the tunes as well about the indie days, it is. But yeah, no, it's definitely a good thing. And I do think I think it has changed. I think there's a lot of people that choose not to drink, and there's a lot of like non-alcoholic stuff available. So I think there has been a bit of a shift. People are more accepting, aren't they? People don't want to drink.
Yeah, it's actually on draft now, isn't it? Like I was on a work day, I was drinking
Oh,
l-
really?
drinking Lucky Saint on draft, which is like 0.5%, which
Oh,
is less than a banana apparently. That's a nice
really?
boring sober fact for you.
Oh, that's no, that's really cool. That's encouraging.
So you
Yeah.
don't feel like makes you feel less awkward or whatever because you'd like
Yeah.
drinking pints, but it's like
Yeah, yeah. To be fair, I've tried a few like non-alcoholic stuff, but yeah, I think it's nice if you enjoy the taste of beer and it gives you that sense of involvement kind of thing. It's nice, and you can wake up the next day and you feel great. You know what I mean? I'll probably
yeah,
get a phantom hangover.
yeah.
I'll probably wake up and I'm like, hey, this didn't have any alcohol in it.
Like I said, a Fanta hangover. Then I was like, you must be
A
hammering
Fanta.
it.
Oh no, I hope I don't. No, I'm enjoying my lovely Fanta. It's very nice.
I
I
know,
feel like
very.
I'm in Tenerife or something with my Fanta lemon.
Yeah, I was gonna say very continental. All right, well let's go to your first song then. And I was really enjoying it. Really good. Haley
Hayley
Mary,
Mary.
who apparently I was reading, she was in a band back in the day. Is that right?
The Jezebels, yeah, there was a big Australian band called the Jezebels who were really popular over there. But she is partners with I've followed Hayley for years. She's just such a good singer. But she is her partner is Johnny Took from DMAs.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, so she's got quite a link over here. But yeah, this is one of my favourite songs of the year. All of my songs have been from this year, and it was really difficult to narrow it down to three. But yeah, she's just such a good singer, and the song is like a bit of a journey, so I thought it'd be a good pick.
Yeah, yeah, yes. Well, here it is. Here's Haley Mary with One Last Drag. We'll actually play them now, by the way. It's
No,
just
I get
pre-recorded.
that.
Um, but yeah, what is your source for new music then? What are your main sources, would you say?
Spotify definitely is that's where because Spotify as much bad rep as it gets, it's also good because it's or every artist that I follow, whenever they really obviously you probably use Spotify as well, but every time they release something, it comes up every single day I'll get like what's new and everything that comes up. So it's just, I think I follow about 4,500 bands and artists now. So every Friday when they do the release radar,
Yeah, yeah.
it's about 12 hours long every week.
Okay, how many tracks is that?
Oh, don't know. I normally whistle it down to around a third of it. So it's about I narrow it down to about 5 hours a week. Normally about
Okay.
100 tracks. So it's probably, yeah, it's probably over 200 tracks a week that
Really?
go
Because
onto
I
my.
only get 30 on mine. I thought that was kind of the limit. 200 is wild.
Yeah, look, so my release radar this week, where is it? I mean, some of it is you get to the end and it's all like live versions of stuff. Yeah, 11 hours and 2 minutes was my release radar. What, Friday just gone. Yeah, you
Blimey.
get to the end and it's kind of like reworks of songs, and sometimes I follow really random artists and I'm like, don't know why I followed them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's like really weird stuff, and then I'm like, yeah. But yeah, no, that's how I really do it. But then I get a lot of bands and artists that will just contact me or message me and say, "Oh, hey, we're so and so from this place. I'd love it if you could check us out." So that's another
Okay.
thing as well. I do get sent a lot of new stuff, and it's great when it's like a band that's first starting out. There's been so many bands over the past 6 or 7 years that I followed right from their debut single, and you watch them sort of playing their first gigs and building up their little fan base, and then they go on to like bigger gigs. And I say some of the bands are doing really, really well. So it's just lovely to be part of their journeys in that way.
No, definitely, yeah. I made like a bit of a resolution this year to like really try and listen to my release radar every week and like add songs to like a playlist. But like you say, like I listened back to it today and I was like, some of them I was like, what was I thinking here? You have to have a bit
Yeah,
of
you
like
get
a
these
clear out
random
sometimes,
stuff.
don't you?
Yeah, I know. I think, God, that's not really my cup of tea. I get like really random stuff on there, like screaming or something. I'm like, oh my God. But it's I follow so many bands and artists now, it's just impossible to try and control it. So I just kind of listen to my release radar and put a playlist together every week. But it's good. It's just nice to be a part because everyone's so enthusiastic, like the bands and artists and stuff, are getting their music out there. And it's just difficult nowadays to be
Mm,
heard. It's like they're kind of like just drowned in a sea of just so many new bands, so much music.
No, yeah, definitely, yeah. It's quite frustrating sometimes if I forget to listen to it because it just refreshes, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And you
every
can't
Friday.
go back to it.
Yeah, I've got this, I don't know if you ever looked it on Spotify, they've got this thing called Daylist and it updates every 3 hours. So if you've been listening to a certain genre, um, it kind of creates like a day list for you, but it
All
changes
right.
every 3 hours. And it's always bands and artists that I've not heard of. So that's another good way of doing it. So yeah, so it's got like happy indie glamorous Thursday afternoon. And it just puts like loads of, sometimes it'd be like really like well-known songs by big artists, and other times it would just be like really random tiny indie bands that broke up about 6 years ago that I'd never heard of. It's really
Okay.
cool.
No, I'll have to have a look for that, yeah. And then, so going to my first song, I've kind of stuck to the same theme of like songs from this year. And yeah, it's a band, they've got links to Hull, so I'm maybe a bit biased, but like the one of my favorite new bands at the minute, Serial Chiller.
I've
The,
heard of them.
have you?
No, I haven't.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they've been going a while now, but they still feel like a new band, really. Maybe because they're a lot younger than me, but um, but yeah, this is one of the new songs. So let's play it now. This is Serial Chiller with Panic. I don't know if you managed to listen to that, did you?
Great. I did have a quick listen. Yeah, no, they sound really good. There's a few actually. The only one that I followed on your list, actually no, because I'll reveal it. It'll be revealing. Yeah, there's one that I followed, but the rest of them are all new to me. So that's good. Even more bands and artists for me to listen to. I'm gonna need like a new set of ears.
No, the same with you, to be fair, a couple I'd never heard of before. It's always there, especially when they're actually good.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, let's move on to a bigger band then, Kasabian. Is this
Yeah.
someone you've always been into?
I love Kasabian. Yeah, they're probably one of my most watched bands. I went to go and see them last Monday, and they opened with this track that they released this year. Well, they've released their album now, and obviously there's a whole kind of divide now whether or not Kasabian are good without Tom. Obviously, Tom left.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that, yeah.
No, Serge is an absolutely amazing frontman, and I just think it's just as good. But yeah, I love Kasabian. Did you? Were you a big Kasabian fan?
I was never like mad into them, but like they've got some great songs.
Yeah, they
Like
are.
I've recently got a bit obsessed with an acoustic song. like on YouTube. God bless this acid house.
Yes.
A
Yeah.
really good version of it on YouTube acoustic. I was
Oh,
really enjoying that. But yeah, they've got some great songs. Just a bit like it's almost like a Liam and Noah situation now, isn't it? Where everyone's like when they're gonna actually get back together. But
well, I don't think they will in the
no,
circumstance.
it's a bit more
Yeah.
political, isn't it? This one, I think.
Yeah, I think Tom's doing his own thing and seems to be doing quite well. But I love it. But yeah, Call is one of my favorite tracks of the year. It's the best tune on their new album for me. It's just ace, but they opened with it last Monday, and they did it. It's like telephone, like tring tring when it started. I was like, yes, we're opening with Call, and the whole crowd absolutely loved it. And I think Serge was really taken aback that all the crowd were like singing along. He was like, Bristol, what the f? I'm not gonna go there. But yeah, it was great, and yeah, just still one of my favorite bands. And now I still personally think that they're excellent live.
Yeah, fair. I mean, it's quite different, isn't it? The song. It's
Yeah, it's
bit
a bit
mad.
more electronic and a bit dancey than like the old indie stuff, but I think I love it.
Okay, cool.
It's a big song, ravey.
All right, well, here it is. Here's Kasabian with Call. And then this next band, I don't know if you've heard about this band, Abby. It's a bit of a super group.
I've heard, yes, this is one that I do already follow, and this is
Okay.
already in my big playlist of the year.
Right, okay. So this is Everyone Says Hi, and probably mentioned them before on here, but yeah, it's Nick Hodgson of the Kaiser Chiefs. I think he got one of the Kooks in there, or like someone who played with the Kooks, one of the Dead 60s. But yeah, what do you make of them? I suppose it's like, it's
Yeah,
going to be
good,
high
really feel
expectations
good.
with a band like that, but yeah, they are pretty good.
It is, yeah, really feel good. Yeah, no, I think it's cool though. I love that there's like, to be fair, I don't think there's many indie bands back in the day that aren't still doing it. Like Razorlight have just announced a new album as well.
Yeah,
So
so the
it's like,
original line as well, and I think.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think it's great. I think carry on. Why not? I went to watch Pigeon Detectives last year, and Matt Bowman, the lead singer, he's still, I don't know how old he is, but he's still jumping around in his leather jacket like he's 21. It's great stage diving.
Really, blimey. Ended up pulling a
Yeah,
hamstring or something.
yeah.
All right, well, here's a song from Everyone Says Hi. This is The Only One. And then another band, yeah, this one I haven't heard of before. Holy Youth Movement, like,
Ah,
can you tell
so
us about these?
yep. So Holy Youth are local to me. They're from Bristol, and their producer is a guy called Jags Kuna. So he is quite a big producer in the industry. He produced like the likes of like Primal Scream. So they've very much got like his touch to it, but they're kind of electronica. They're just so good live. The first time I saw them live, I felt like I'd taken something. It was like an afternoon art of White festival in this feeling tent, and they just blew the crowd away. They're mental, but they're just so good. So the song that I picked is from their new EP called We Are Stars. But they used to also be a band called they used to be in a band called the Shimmer Band, who were quite popular. So Holy Youth Movement is like a spin-off from the Shimmer Band a few years back.
Okay.
But very good, very cool front man. He just wears boiler suits and sunglasses. Really cool.
Yes. I mean, it's like, I said it's like a bit of a blending genres kind of song, isn't it? Like, you can't really, there's a bit of everything in there type thing.
Yeah, they love a bit of synth to our Holy Youth Movement boys. There's a lot of synth. But yeah, they're just wild. They're just so wild live. Like I haven't missed a Bristol show in the last few years, and they're doing some more shows as well around the country. I think like in the autumn time. But yeah, in terms of like a live experience, they are just so amazing. You don't even have to know their music. It's just like yeah, it's just like synth electric. It's just brilliant. Just so much fun.
All right, excellent. Well, here they are. Here's Holy Youth Movement with We Are Stars. All right, then. So, like back in the day, you mentioned the Libertines. What are the what are the bands were your favourites back then?
The Maccabees. I was a huge Maccabees fan. I don't know if you followed them.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. They played in
Yeah.
Hull a
So
few times. Yeah.
yeah, so me and my brother and our other friend, we used to follow them around like fangirls. We were like obsessed with the Maccabees. And when they broke up, well, it's a funny story when they broke up actually. I can remember they said that, sorry, it's Lyra in the background, my dog. And they said that they were going to do an announcement. So I Googled the Maccabees and it came up on Wikipedia and it said the Maccabees were a five-piece band from Brighton. And I was like, what do you mean were? So I phoned my brother and I was like, I think the Maccabees are going to break up. And they hadn't really given us much hint that they were going to do it, so it was quite of a shock. But yeah, we did all their 3 farewell shows at Alexandra Palace in a
Oh,
row.
really?
Yeah, so the Maccabees were huge, but I loved, yeah, like Jamie T, absolutely loved back in the day. He was one of my favourites. Cortinas as well. Used to go and watch Cortinas a lot. But all
Yeah.
the NME, all the bands like this. It's yeah, Block Party, who's I know you've got coming up. We're huge, massive Block Party fan.
Yeah, yeah. No, really good. Are there many good venues near you?
Well, it's Bristol mainly, so all those bands tend to play the O2 Academy. We didn't
Okay.
really get to see those bands in any small. Bristol O2 Academy is like the main place basically, unless you're going
Right.
to play like places like the Colston Hall,
Didn't
which is
Art
huge.
Arctic Monkeys played the football stadium, didn't they?
Yeah, I went there last year. They played Ashton Gate. That was the opening night of their tour.
Looked quite good, that.
It was brilliant. Well,
Yeah.
I saw them in Barcelona in 2013, which was
Oh,
the
wow.
yeah, it was amazing. So I went saw them on the last dates of their 2013 tour, and then I saw them on the first date of their 2023 tour. So it was like 10 years later, like from the end of the tour to the start. But yeah, I love Arctic Monkeys. They've always been a big part of my life, big part of my music life.
Yeah, yeah. Whereabouts in Barcelona was it? Was it a festival?
No, it was at an indoor venue. I can't remember what it was called now. But I saw them in Milan the previous week, and then we went to Barcelona the next week to go and watch them.
That's it.
It was pretty mad. Yeah, it was just like this arena in Barcelona. It wasn't an outdoor show, but it was great. We accidentally bought seated tickets, me and my ex, for Arctic Monkeys Barcelona, and we were like, sod this. We just like jumped over the side to get into the standing bit.
Yes.
And they
I
were
think
supported actually by a band who sadly broke up. They were a band called The Stripes. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
I think probably yeah, I think I have, yeah.
They started to do really, really well, and they were so young. I think they were 16 when they supported Arctic Monkeys,
Blimey.
and they were like destined to be really great. Then they broke up sadly, but they were such a good band, like really bluesy rock and roll.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's likely to be like the peak live era for Arctic Monkeys, I think.
Yeah,
2013.
definitely, they were amazing then.
Yeah,
How do you feel about their new style, the lounge rock?
yeah. I mean I'm into it. Um like I wouldn't say is it fourth album? Oh the Tranquility Base album was definitely a grower. But
Mm.
yeah, I really like it. I like the fact they're doing their own thing. I know it annoys a lot of people, but what do you make of it?
I love it. So I got the car. I would have got it ready, but I'm not quite sure. My vinyl not in order. So I bought the car and it's mustard vinyl. And I wasn't quite sure that was the last album they brought out. I wasn't sure. And then one Sunday afternoon, I put it on the record player and it just made sense. It was just,
Yeah,
I think I'm very open-minded. I think a lot of people aren't as open-minded maybe. So when a band comes back with a really different sound, they kind of can't accept that a band can change and evolve and their sound can change. But I love it when a band does that. I think it's great. And it definitely suits, like they've been in LA for God knows how many years. So of course they're going to change as people and think their influences are going to change and the music that they like is going to change. You know, I'm a big fan. And what was it? Was it Mirrorball that they played live last year? It was just, oh, it was just so good.
yeah,
All the new songs sounded incredible live last year. Loved it.
yeah. Yeah, Sculptures is probably my favourite off that album.
Mm.
But I went to see them in London and they didn't play it. I was a bit annoyed.
Oh no. Yeah, because they were mixing their set list up quite a lot and playing they played Mardy Bum and
Yeah, yeah.
the first time they was it the first time they ever played it or first time they played it in like 20 years or something. So I think they were mixing up every night, like playing different songs. But I think they're just a great band and I'm yeah, big fan of the new music.
No, definitely, yeah. Okay, well, just mentioned them Block Party. So we're going to play their new song because, again, this is a bit of a grower for me. I think I heard it and then I saw them play it at Glastonbury on TV.
How good
It's a
was
bit,
that?
that's it. It was ace, wasn't it? So good.
So good. Yeah, I was watching it all on TV, but yeah, Block Party set was absolutely brilliant. Kelly just doesn't look any different. Like, exactly the same like 20 years ago. But yeah, no, their new music's really good. It's quite like sort of third albumy, which I like, but no, it's good.
Yeah, yeah. Have you been to Glastonbury before?
No,
I'm
never.
always intrigued 'cause I've never been. I'm like, keep telling myself I need to go, but
It's on my bucket list. Did have a ticket a few years ago, but then COVID happened and I was going to Isle of Wight and doing Liam Gallagher at Nebworth. So
oh
I was
yeah.
like, I can't afford to do all three, or I'll die if I do. So I ended up giving my Glastonbury ticket away.
Oh wow.
I know, or putting it back in the resale, which I was silly really. But no, one year I will definitely, if I can get to here, I will definitely go.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, let's play Block Party then. Here's the latest single, I think. This is Flirting Again. And then the next song, I've definitely heard of this band because of someone I've had on the radio show before, Mandy, who does Best New Indie on Instagram.
Yeah.
She recommended this band, but yeah, I was loving this song as well. Big Special,
They're
Black Dog, White Horse.
yeah, big specials. So I went to go and see them. They did like a little acoustic thing at Rough Trade in Bristol, but their album is just so good. And I've been kind of following their single releases up to the album, but it wasn't ever something that was really like in. And then the album came out, and I listened to the album from start to finish, and I was like, wow, they're just really, really, really good and really different and just really refreshing. So they've kind of got like kind of an idols element to them. Um, but I just think they're ace and really nice guys as well. Just the two of them, which I
Yeah, I was
really
gonna
like.
say, is it just two of them? Yeah.
Just the two of them, yeah.
Okay. And are they a Midlands band? Am I right in thinking that?
They are, yes. I don't know if they're from Birmingham. They're definitely Midlands by their accent. West, it just said just West Midlands, it says. But they're really cool. And I think they've probably got some kind of like big backing behind them because they have been playing some of the big festivals as well. And it's notoriously difficult to get on to, because they played Glastonbury during Latitude. It's very difficult to get onto these kind of festivals. So I think they've got sort of some kind of industry backing, but they're really, really good. And if you haven't listened to the album, then you should because it's ace.
Yeah, we'll do, not to be fair. Okay, well, let's play the song. Here's Big Special with Black Dog, White Horse. And then, yeah, the next one is purely off Spotify. Spotted them on the release radar. I'm assuming you say it's pronounced Peter Zan.
Yeah, I've not heard of. Is it him? Is it a singer?
Yeah, I think so.
Peter Zan. No, I've not heard of Peter Zan. I would say Zan though, yeah, as an ex. Zan.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I was really enjoying this. Again, it's like a bit of a mix of genres, really. But what did you make of it?
Yeah, it's good. I say I've not heard of him before. I was just actually reading his description.
Okay.
He looks really, really cool. So I just listened to it. I didn't actually read or see what he looked like. So yeah, he looks different. I like it. And he's not got that many followers either at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. It's always interesting, isn't it, when you hear like a really good song and it's like not particularly popping off, but he still seems to be getting a bit of a following. He's got quite a decent following on Instagram, I think.
Oh, it must be maybe it's just Twitter that I looked at. Oh yeah,
Okay.
no, definitely. That's the reason I do it because I do hear. Oh, he does, yeah, a lot on there. That's the reason I do it because you do hear sometimes you hear these amazing songs and you're like, this is so good. This is but just as good as or even better than things that you hear on the mainstream radio. So that's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
do. Like, guys, listen to this song. It's amazing. They might only have like 100 monthly listeners or something.
No, yeah, definitely. Well, here's a song I know. Here's Peter Zan with Empty Space. Yeah, what radio do you listen to for like
Um,
new music?
well, I don't tend to really.
Yeah.
I get sent so much stuff that I tend to like, every morning there'll be new releases that I'll listen to. And then I'm always quite conscious of making sure I listen to stuff that I've saved from the week before to give them some streams. But I suppose if I do like sometimes Radio 6 is really good. I sometimes listen to Access Manchester. Do you
Yeah.
know if you listen to that? Because they're just great guys.
Yeah, I have it on in the car, to be fair.
Yeah, Jim Salverson's great. They do it. He does a lot for like the upcoming bands. Sometimes Radio X just depends, but I don't really tend to. I say normally I've just got so much stuff to listen to on Spotify that radio gets a bit of a back seat.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. Because you like kind of have to, you almost get impatient with radio, I guess.
Mm,
You can't
yeah.
skip through kind of thing.
Impatience, that's the problem I think nowadays, is that people are they sort of have no attention span at all. So that you'll say to them, "Oh, here's like a playlist of 6 hours," and people are just like, "I can't be asked, can't be bothered." I mean, I just can't bother to sit there and listen to it. I've got
Yeah, yeah.
attention span's not great.
No, definitely. You do have to be in the mood for it, to be fair, don't you? When you're listening to
Yeah,
new music kind of thing. And
yeah.
then, yeah, you mentioned festivals. Which festivals have you been to this summer? What are you going to this summer?
So I went to a local one a couple of weeks ago called Godney Gathering, and that is my only festival this year because I bought a house last year. So
Right.
I'm quite irresponsible when I'm at a festival in terms of I'll have a few drinks, I'll be like, oh, sod it. So I DJ'd at Godney Gathering, and that's a couple of weeks ago, and that's going to be the only one I'm going to this year. Well, I'm going to an event in Bridlington in September
Oh yeah.
today that's run. It's just loads of like upcoming bands, but it's just more of a 2 day thing. But yeah, so normally I'd be doing like Isle of Wight Truck Festival. I've done Why Not a few times, but yeah, this year it's been quite quiet. Have you been to any?
No, I haven't, to be fair, no. What have I been to this summer? Not really been to anything. I'm thinking about going to Blossoms are playing in Withenshaw Park,
Blossoms.
and my friend's band are playing, I think, on the bill.
Oh, nice.
So try and go to that.
Who's your
Um,
friend band?
well, she's been on here before. She's called Steph, and she's in a band. She's in a few bands. She's like in one called Truces that I think are playing. Uh, double check on that name actually. Um, is it Truces? Yeah, she's in a few bands. She's like our age as well, so she kind of has like the same references.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. She can do that for a living.
No, definitely, yeah. Did you say you were DJing at a festival then?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. How did you get into that?
Well, I say DJing very loosely. I don't really do it. It's all like indie music and popular music, so you don't really need to mix like house music with change like matching the RPMs or whatever. So I've got my little pair of decks. I was invited to DJ at Isle of Wight by This Feeling a few years ago. So the first ever one I did was 2021, and then I just bought myself a little pair of decks.
That's
And my
it.
friend is the band booker for Godney, so I just did the little main stage on the Saturday afternoon, Saturday lunchtime, just before it opened.
That's quality.
But I feel very much like an imposter when the sound guy was like, "Oh, you're our first artist of the day." I was like, "I'm not. Please, please, I'm not an artist. I'm just here to play songs. Please don't. Like, if you, I'm not worthy to be categorized with all these other amazing bands and artists."
I'll take it. Go for it. May as well
Yeah,
lean
no, it's
into it.
really good fun. Yeah, it's really good fun. So I did Isle of Wight. Apart from this year, I've done Isle of Wight for the past few years.
Really, that's it. So, like, what you're playing, like a mix of stuff.
Yeah, just all your classic indie bangers. It was a bit more difficult with Godney because it's very much a family festival. So I had to throw in, I had a bit of Human League in there, a bit of Shania Twain,
Right,
House
yes.
Martins. So yeah, no, it was good. It was like a real mix. And I did like a few indie things as well. Also throw in a couple of new ones like Red Rum Club. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Not sure, yeah, maybe.
Oh, you'd love Red Rum Club. They're ace. They're going to be so massive.
Oh,
They're
really?
just the
Yes.
most feel-good band ever. They're from Liverpool.
Okay,
But
I'll have a listen.
they're one of the bands that I followed kind of from years ago, from 2018, I think, 2017, when they were just first starting out. And they're getting pretty big now, pretty big.
Yes. So, how does it work then? So, like, you get booked by Isle of Wight. Do you have to take your own decks?
No,
Is it?
no, no. So I'm friends with this guy called Mikey that runs This Feeling. So he basically promotes grassroots bands, and
Yeah.
he's got his own stage at Isle of Wight, and they've got their own decks. So he
All
just
right.
come down. He's like, you can do a bit of DJing if you like, and I was like, oh, okay,
What,
yeah.
just for CDs type thing?
No, no, just USBs.
USBs, okay. So you could literally just do the mix beforehand and plug it in.
Mix, you just choose a song. A song will be on, and while the other song's on, well, I did it. There was two other DJs as well, so we often did it together. So
Right.
one would pick a song, then I'd pick a song, and you just all dance around. So it's very, very easy.
That's it. So I want to get into that. I don't know how to get into it, but
Well, I've got these little like Pioneer decks, and they're so easy to use. I've not really ventured into like, the whole proper mixing. Like I understand the concept of
you
mixing.
don't need to with this type of music, though, do you? Really?
No, you don't need to. It just goes from one song to the
Just
next.
fade it in,
Obviously, the
basically.
only thing yeah, just fade it into one together. The only thing is obviously if a song's got like a really long intro, you probably want to bring it in like a bit earlier. But you can listen to the song that you're queuing while the other song's playing. So you can all I basically do is just listen and then pause it at the point where I want that song to come in. Because sometimes songs got like a massive long intro and it's just a bit
Yeah, yeah.
you don't everyone stood there like, come on, waiting for it to drop. So you can just go in like straight as the song starts. But yeah, it's really easy. If I can do it, like a monkey can do it.
Well, I used to do it in Hull a bit, but then I was like, that was a long time ago now, so I didn't know if it had changed. But just turn it with USB sounds pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah, or I use well for God, I just use my Mac.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to download because there was no Wi-Fi. I had to download. So basically, I just use this software called Record Box, which
All right.
connects with my decks, and then you can log into different um, music streaming services. So I just you have to sign up for the SoundCloud Pro just so you can download the songs offline. So yeah, I just downloaded loads of all the tracks I was going to play offline, just so when I opened my Mac, they were still on there. But yeah, it's honestly it's really straightforward and great.
Yeah, that's it. So I'll look into that. Start bombarding people with emails. All right, let's move on to the next band then. Probably one of the biggest bands around at the minute, Fontaines DC. You've been
Absolutely.
you've been into them from the early days type thing?
Yeah, I can remember the first time I listened to Fontaines. We went to watch Paul Weller in Cardiff Castle, and we were all really hungover on the way back. Someone had said, "Oh, we've got this Fontaines new album, Dogwall, that had come out." So it was 2019. It was like the summer, and that was the first time I've heard them, and I fell in love with them. I thought they were so cool. I loved "Boys in the Better Land" was like was their biggest first song from the first album, and yeah, but I've followed them ever since, and they are my favorite band at the moment. I adore them. I'm such a Fontaines fan. And I was so surprised. So the final song that I've picked, when it came out, I was like, "Whoa, wow!" It was like Fontaines have gone hip hop, and I was here for it. But they have just taken the opportunity and just ran with it. It's like all their albums have been incredible and just so different.
No, yeah, I think I am enjoying the recent stuff more than the early stuff.
Yeah, and then they come back with "Favourite," which is like a really jingly jangly song, and I thought I
Yeah.
think it was gonna be like a whole hip hop album, but then "Favourite's" really different to Starburster. But yeah, I love them, and I'm seeing them in Alexandra Palace in November, just after my birthday, so that'll be fun.
Ah, excellent. Okay, well here they are. Here are Fontaines DC with Starburster. Okay, yes, well cheers for your time, Sam. Is
Oh,
it
that's
Sam?
okay. It is Sam, yes.
Didn't know if that was just a Twitter thing or what, but
Oh, yeah, no, and it is my surname is actually Shiner as well,
oh really?
unfortunately. Yeah, people think because I love Oasis so much that it was like Shine. I was like, "No, it's actually my name."
You're born to be a DJ
Sadly.
with that name.
I know. That's what someone said to me, "Do you wanna" my friends told, "Do you wanna go on the Godney thing?" And I was like, "No." They were like, "What would your DJ name be?" I was like, "I don't know, just don't put me on." Oh, no, it's been great, thank you.
No worries. Yeah, I think we've got one more song to play.
Oh, yeah, we have,
Um,
yes.
again, this is just purely release radar. Never heard them before. Phantom Sugar with Left on Red. Don't know.
Another
Any
new one
thoughts on
for
this?
me. Yeah, no, it's good. I know I say it's another new I've not heard of them before, but no, it's good. I do. I'm very much a fan.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Well, here they are. Here's Phantom Sugar with Left on Red. All right, nice one. Well,
Fab.
cheers for that. It'd be good to get you back on if you do fancy it, like
Yeah.
in a
Well,
month or so.
I've got plenty of material, plenty of songs, but no, I'll give it a share and stuff when it's out or whatever. I don't know how you're gonna do it. Would be like Spotify or oh, it isn't a radio, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, it's just a mixed cloud thing.
Yeah, cool. Nice one.
But yeah, I want to get into the new music more really,
Well, I do.
because
Well, I post the playlist that I post every Friday. You probably won't like it all. Like, I wouldn't expect everyone to like everything, but there's always some good stuff every single
yeah,
week,
yeah, not a nice one.
and I tag everyone, so it's quite. And hopefully, like doing it one a week because I've got this mega on my Spotify. I have to tell you how many hours it is at the moment. 174 hours. This is just tunes from this year. So that's well, like over halfway. Last year it was. Hold on. My 2023 archive is 287 hours and 8 minutes long,
Blimey.
and that's just all new releases from last year. So I think I'm at the stage where I'm gonna beat last year's record.
What am I on? Let's have a look at mine because I've been doing it as well. But I've got about 60 songs on there, I think, from this year. But
Well, I can
I'm not as on top of it as you are, really.
well, that's the thing, if I stop, then I'll lose, like, the because I've been doing these plays for, like, 5 years now.
Yeah, yeah,
If I miss a week, I get all behind, I get all on a flap, so I'm like, I've just gotta try and keep up with it, but sometimes it's if I'm really busy or I'm away, it's really difficult. Um, but yeah, there's so many good bands, and even now, like you said, you've picked 2 or 3 people that I've not heard of, and I thought I always think I'm pretty much on the ball, but there's always new stuff that I've not heard. It's like
yeah.
a gigantic treasure trove.
I suppose that one thing on the podcast as well is like, talked to a lot of bands and people that were around in the 2000s and like just discussing whether it's like as healthy as it ever was. Do you think new music now and bands?
I think there's an argument for either side, really.
Yeah,
'Cause I think being a band and an artist, you've got so many more opportunities to do stuff than you did back in the day because people like there's more promoters putting on their own gigs. It's not just like only the famous people can make it. Everyone can make it, but it's also very, very stressful because you're doing about a million jobs. You've got to be social media manager. You've got to be constantly promoting yourself on social media. And it's not just being a band, like you've got to be prepared to put in so much work. And it is really stressful to try and cope with it all and to try and basically get your voice heard in amongst hundreds and thousands of other bands.
Yeah, yeah. Because it feels like it's harder in some ways, but then easier in others. Because like, wasn't there a band that got to number one without a record deal or something? Was it the Ratings or something?
The Ratings, yeah, they got number one last year, and Lottery Winners as well. But I think they are signed,
All
but
right.
they're very much they've come from the grassroots scene, and then you've got bands like the Labums, who've got two number one albums.
Yeah,
They've
it's mad,
done
isn't it?
amazing. And the
Yeah.
Snuff, I think they got a number one last year, and that was without record label. Was it? Did they get number one or did they get number two? But either way, doing really well. And then there's a band called the K's. You know the K's?
Yeah, heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, so they got number three this year, which was just brilliant for a debut album. So yeah, I think there's a lot of bands doing really, really, really well. Yeah, the Ratings are smashing it.
Yeah. Fair play. Oh, well, I'll let you go, but that was
Cheers.
great.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to work now.
Yeah.